My talk today really is about something that a lot of you might be doing already or might be doing very soon, and that is writing an interview or winning CV for an employer. Now, that's something I have done before. I've worked in HR positions in different companies, both in the UK and abroad, and really, when you come to think about it, there's nothing more worrying for a lot of you that when it comes to actually applying for jobs and doing a good CV that's actually going to be seen as we want to see this person, we want to talk to this person, we actually want to know what this person can offer this company. So, when you're actually thinking about applying for a job, and before even that, what kind of CV, there's sort of 7 key points that we as HR recruiters tend to look for when we're actually going through a large number of CVs that have come through the internet or through the post, and then how do we actually choose, well, let's say 10 people that we would like to interview. Now, number one of the things I always say to people that, have come to me and said, sir, what's the first thing I'd do? Well, if you're looking for a particular type of job on the internet, well, what you need to do is research your target employers. Who would you like to work for? Where would you like to work? In what capacity would you like to work within that company? What does that company do? Does it change? Is it global? Is it internal? Does it deal with the UK? Does it deal with the famous EU? Is it bigger than that? Is it something that I want to be based in an office, or is it something that I want to be always travelling around? And that's something you've got to think about when you start thinking about looking for work and looking for an employment that's going to satisfy you for a long time. So, before you actually do that, it's your CV. Now, CVs tend to be of all types. What we always say is, as a recruiter, I would look for a CV that's only 2 sides. We're talking about the front page and the back page. No employer wants to have a 14-page CV or a sort of half-a-page CV, or even 3 or 4 or 5 pages of a CV. They actually are looking for 2 sides. And remember that when you're writing the CV, what you've got to put on the CV are words that are going to stand out, because recruiters don't have a lot of time. They can't read through the whole CVs, and I can tell you from experience, when I've been looking through CVs, I tend to really glance quickly, and if there's words that I find, hey, this word stands out, this person has researched my company, has actually researched what we're doing or what we want to do in the future, there's something there that I want to know a little bit more. So I might actually read this CV or put it aside and say, I'm going to come back to that one. To CVs that really don't say anything, that have got nothing, are pretty plain, that will go on to, I don't think I'd bother pile on the other side of the table. So the information that you're actually giving on the CV is quite important. Making sure that you don't lie, that the information is correct, because remember, the CV is the first port of call for you to get in that interview. So, the other thing on the CV, obviously, is writing your profile. CVs these days like people to actually write a little bit about yourself. And writing about yourself is about writing the truth. There's nothing worse for recruiters when they actually call someone in and then ask them a few questions, and then what happens? You can't answer because you've lied in that CV. And so in that CV, you must say who you are, what kind of person you are, and what skills can you be giving that company. Remember that when you write your CV, you have to write also your education. I mean, apart from the normal things like your name, where you live, and then your profile, you've got to write down also your education. Structure your education. Not all employers want to know everything you've done, and some things that you've done in your life sometimes are not really relevant to the job that you're actually looking for. So in other words, what you need to do is think about what the employer might be looking for. I've done an A-level in, let's say, Spanish, biology and chemistry. Spanish might not be needed so much because the role you're looking for is more a medical one. If they say you need a language, then you would add it on. Anything else that you do, think about what you need to do. What employers don't want is tons and tons of information on a CV, even if it's 2 pages long. They really want clear information on each section of the CV. And this is what we say is adapt your education to when you're writing a CV. Also look at, when you're actually searching, look at the role titles as well. What is it that they're saying? Are they saying head of, I don't know, education in this particular school? What does that actually mean? And that's a good thing. Find out a little bit more. What is the job description? What is it that the head of education of X primary school actually means? Does it mean that you're running the whole part of this sort of younger area of the school, or is it more of an administrative role? Is it a mixture of two? Are you also part of senior management and you've got to do some teaching, or is teaching the majority but you do some sort of senior management role, sort of administrative role? So don't always believe the actual title of the thing. Titles of jobs can change. A company might actually say, we're looking for a consultant in the Asian market. But what they might be saying is, we're actually looking for someone who knows a little bit more about China and Australia. And then you need to actually phone the company or research the company and see what is it they're looking for. Go deeper and deeper. Also, your interests. Companies like to see what kind of interest you have. A lot of people say, yes, I do swimming, or I do sports, I stamp collecting, I don't know, there's all sorts of type of things. But also check what kind of things that you do, what kind of interest would interest them. So, for example, if you're talking about, say, the Chinese market, I don't know, you might be saying, well, I've been doing a little bit of Chinese, or I do Kung Fu. I don't know, it's just something that would make sense. Well, it's connected, but there's certain interests that maybe are not connected to what they're looking for. So when writing your CV, as I said, the first thing what I say to everybody is be truthful. Don't lie. Don't exaggerate, because you will be caught out. And the worst thing is sitting in an interview where they've asked you about something in your CV that you don't know anything about, you go red in the face, and this is a clear, there's the door, please don't come back. So, writing your CV, as I said, is 2 sides, okay? You start with your name, your address, phone numbers, also include phone numbers and emails that they can contact you, not any funny email that doesn't really mean anything that you use between your friends. Make it professional all the time. Second, your profile. Don't make that too long. I always say to make about 4 or 5 lines. It's about you, how you sell yourself to the company. So this company's going to say, this person sounds interesting. I think I'll have a look at that CV a bit later. And then when you go on to the education, as I said, make sure the education is relevant to the job you're doing. If you've done any other jobs, like part-time jobs or voluntary work, please put that in as well. But again, be very choosy on what you're actually writing in the CV. Finally, obviously you have to put your references as well. Always put it from the school, the head teacher, and someone else that can also back your application. Now, the last thing I say, when you do a CV, don't double check it, triple check it. Because what they don't want is mistakes in your CV. Any sort of errors will put you on the side we don't want to know. So when you're typing your CV, make sure that you triple check it all the time and it is completely clear. So, as I said, the 7 steps are: research your target employers. Number 2, format and structure are crucial. 3, make a big impression with your profile, especially with words that stand out. Structure your role descriptions properly. Adapt your education to the job you're applying to. And keep interest relevant. And finally, as I say to everybody, triple check your CV. Do not send it in with mistakes. Okay? Thank you very much.